On May 19, 1977, 20-year-old Colleen Stan was hitchhiking from Oregon to a friend's birthday party in California. She was cautious, having turned down several rides that felt off, when a young couple, Cameron and Janice Hooker, pulled up with their baby in the back. She felt safe. About half an hour into the drive, the atmosphere shifted. Cameron pulled off onto a dirt road and suddenly brandished a knife. He forced Colleen into a head box, a wooden contraption lined with acoustic foam to prevent her from screaming or seeing where they were going. Colleen was taken to the Hooker's home in Red Bluff, California. For the next 7 years, she would spend up to 23 hours a day locked in a coffin-like wooden box hidden under the couple's waterbed. The box was so small she could barely move, designed to crush her spirit. Cameron Hooker claimed he was part of a powerful, shadowy organization called the Company. He told Colleen that if she ever tried to escape or contact the police, the Company would find her and murder her entire family. This psychological leash was stronger than any physical lock. Hooker forced Colleen to sign a service contract that labeled her his slave. He used the document to formalize his abuse, making her believe that her life now belonged to him by law. He even convinced her that his wife, Janice, was also a victim of the Company. Over the years, Hooker began to trust Colleen more. He eventually allowed her out of the box for longer periods to help with housework and childcare. To the neighbors, she appeared to be a live-in nanny. She even went on a supervised visit to her parents, but she was too terrified to tell them the truth. The situation changed when Cameron expressed a desire to bring in a second slave. Janice Hooker, who had been complicit in Colleen's kidnapping 4 years, finally reached her breaking point. Fearing for her own safety and that of her children, she decided to help Colleen escape. In August 1984, while Cameron was at work, Janice told Colleen the truth. The Company was a lie. There was no secret organization. Janice drove Colleen to a bus station and told her to go home. It took days for Colleen to process that the threat to her family wasn't real. Colleen eventually went to the police, and Cameron Hooker was arrested. The trial was a media sensation. The defense argued that Colleen could have left at any time since she wasn't always locked up, but experts testified about Stockholm Syndrome and the power of psychological coercion. In 1985, Cameron Hooker was convicted of kidnapping and sexual assault. He was sentenced to 104 years in prison. Janice Hooker was granted immunity in exchange for her testimony, a decision that remains controversial given her role in Colleen's 7-year ordeal. Colleen Stan's story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. She went on to get an education, raise a family, and write a book about her experience. She refused to let the 7 years in the box define the rest of her life, becoming an inspiration for other survivors. The girl in the box case is still studied today by hostage negotiators and psychologists. It illustrates how fear can be used to create an invisible cage, proving that the mind can be imprisoned just as effectively as the body. In recent years, Cameron Hooker has appeared before parole boards, seeking release due to his age. Each time, Colleen has stood up to testify against him, ensuring that the man who stole 7 years of her youth remains behind bars. Colleen often says that her faith and the thoughts of her family kept her sane during the thousands of hours she spent in total darkness. Her story ended not in tragedy, but in a quiet, hard-won victory over a monster who tried to erase her existence. The case changed how the public viewed hitchhiking and suburban safety in the 70s and 80s. It reminded the world that evil can hide behind the facade of a normal young couple with a baby, making the betrayal of trust even more profound. Today, Colleen Stan lives a private life, far from the wooden box under the bed. She remains a symbol of survival, proving that even after the darkest nights, the light of truth can eventually find its way back.